Yeah.
Meet Chris Wright, a former Georgetown University star basketball player. After being forgotten in the 2011 NBA draft, to pursue his dream of playing in the NBA, Chris joined the Development League, which is basically the minor leagues for the NBA. And he did pretty well. He had some chances. He got a few short-term contracts, but he never actually got to play. He always ended up getting cut from the practice team. So he practiced as hard as he could. Then one day at practice, his leg gave out, and no one really knew what to tell him. It was unlike anything he'd ever experienced before. They did some really minor tests and found that all the tendons were intact, no broken bones, nothing like that. But the pain didn't go away, and later the night after his leg collapsed, he actually felt numbness. He lost sensation in his whole right side, and it turned out that he had to go back to the doctors. And after a lot of tests and a few weeks of time, Chris was diagnosed with MS, which is multiple sclerosis. And the medical staff told Chris that he'd never play in the NBA. He was crushed. And after finding out, he did a lot of research. He found out that multiple sclerosis was an autoimmune disease that affects the central nervous system. What happens is your T cells, which are is your immune system, it attacks myelin sheath, which is healthy nervous tissue in your body. And besides the numbness Chris experienced, multiple sclerosis symptoms include loss of balance and loss of coordination, which are obviously going to be vital if you're trying to play basketball. Also called MS, obviously, multiple sclerosis is a chronic, unpredictable disease that affects 2.5 million people, 2/3 of which are women ages 20 to 40. And MS affects every person differently. There isn't one stereotypical case. In my research, I saw some cases where there were women who were, women and men, diagnosed when they're 25, they're in a wheelchair by the time they're 30. In other cases, you just go on living your life as planned, and you won't have symptoms except every few years. Now, in most cases, it has no impact on life expectancy. It hinders your quality of life, not the quantity of it. And since my dad has MS, I'm qualified to discuss this topic. Besides raising your awareness about MS, what I'm about to tell you will help you understand how the disease affects the body and what treatments are available. Today I will be covering what MS is exactly, why it's difficult to diagnose, and what treatments are available. First, what is multiple sclerosis? MS affects the central nervous system, and that consists of your brain, spinal cord, and optic nerves. Now, the explanation starts at the cellular level. Basically, this is what your nerve cell looks like normally, and this is the path which your nerves travel along, or your nerve signals, and this is the myelin sheath. It's a protective sheath that covers and protects the signals, just like you might have a power cord at home plugging into the wall. It has a rubber insulation on it. And what happens is these nerve cells, called neurons, continually send and receive signals that are intricate to the processes that result in actions, thoughts, and sensations that encompass the human experience. And